Plans for CM Punk tonight on the Tribute to the Troops edition of Friday Night SmackDown have been revealed, and it could lead to a possible WrestleMania main event for the former AEW World Champion. Plenty of details on that. Plus, Bryan Danielson has made the headlines this week as he reportedly is the head of handing out fines for AEW talent that don't pass the social media test. We'll let you know about that. Plus, final battle, Bryan Danielson will be competing inside of a Ring of Honor ring once again as he teams up with the Blackpool Combat Club in a trios match. Plus, Danielson has also revealed he wanted Kenny Omega to be a part of the AEW Continental Classic Tournament. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling. Let's start off talking about CM Punk tonight, live on Friday Night SmackDown on Fox. Of course, the special Tribute to the Troops edition of the Blue brand. And a new tweet, just in actually the last couple of minutes at the time of recording this video, has maybe given a bit of an indication as to what Punk has planned for his WWE future. Now, obviously, spoilers. If you don't wish to be spoiled, you can skip ahead to another news story in the video. I'll give you 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, WrestleVotes has tweeted as of just a few minutes ago right now and has said, quote, "I'm told CM Punk's in-ring segment tonight on SmackDown will focus on his desire to, quote, main event WrestleMania 40. It's clobbering time." Now, obviously, it's pretty ambiguous. It's not total spoilers, but it does suggest CM Punk's aspirations in coming back to WWE is not only, like he said at the end of his promo on Monday Night Raw a couple of weeks ago, that he's not here to make friends, he's here to make money. He's also here to main event WrestleMania, something, of course, that he's never done in his WWE career in his first tenure with the organization, something that was a big hang-up for the former WWE champion, and it looks like he possibly has these intentions of main eventing in Philadelphia. Of course, it's somewhat easier to main event WrestleMania now that there's 2 nights of the show. There's night 1 and there's night 2 of WrestleMania, and you can main event either night. It would appear that possibly the most simple way right now to main event WrestleMania would be competing in the Royal Rumble match. We know that Cody Rhodes has officially declared his entry for the men's Royal Rumble, the match that he won earlier this year. But could he be joined by another former AEW star, that being the former AEW World Champion CM Punk? Of course, we get any more details on that, we'll react to it and we'll let you know in a future video. But what are your thoughts on CM Punk possibly competing in the Royal Rumble? And should that match be CM Punk's official in-ring return, or should he compete before then? Let me know your thoughts, your predictions, your reactions in the comments section below. And let's talk about Bryan Danielson. There's a big story about Bryan Danielson this week when it pertains to being the social media law in All Elite Wrestling. Now, if someone poisons the social media watering hole, Bryan Danielson is one of those responsible for laying down the law, according to Sean Ross Sapp. Now, Fightful Select had reported last week that Bryan Danielson was effectively the face of the disciplinary committee in AEW, of course, the committee that led to the firing of the aforementioned former AEW World Champion CM Punk, and that it extended to laying out fines when necessary. Now, for some reason, when Sean Ross Sapp spoke about it this week on Fightful's edition of The Hump, it got a lot of publicity, so Fightful thought they'd elaborate on what they know regarding this situation. Now, of course, Danielson is notoriously disconnected from social media. He has been at least partially responsible for handing out fines regarding social media conduct in AEW in recent weeks. Now, most of the conduct is related to helping AEW look as professional as possible as an organization and can extend to retweets and likes. Now, Fightful say they've not heard that fines are particularly common, but indeed they have been handed out. Danielson has long been considered a locker room leader in All Elite Wrestling and has led meetings following AEW All In this year, where he discussed the process and decision-making of CM Punk's termination from the company with cause. He also spoke at a meeting earlier on this year about conduct during interviews and at a talent meeting last year after the brawl-out situation involving CM Punk and the Elite. So, obviously, if Bryan Danielson and the disciplinary committee feel that they have broken some kind of social media conduct policies in AEW, Danielson has the authority to hand out fines. Now, when it comes to some positive news about Danielson, he is set to be in action tonight on AEW Rampage, facing off against Daniel Garcia in the Continental Classic Blue League. AEW officials were said to be very high on this match. Danielson has actually commented on the bout in question, as well as the stories regarding his social media fining ability abilities by going on social media this evening, going on X, formerly known as Twitter. You can see it on the screen right now, saying, quote, "Also, if you don't watch hashtag AEW Rampage tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to fine every single one of you," making light of that fact. What are your thoughts on Danielson's ability to hand out fines? Do you think it's a good thing? Do you think it's working? And do you think it's a positive that AEW is trying to curb the amount of talent that go on social media and cause disruption or paint the company in a bad light? Is that a good thing? Let me know your thoughts about that. Speaking of Danielson, his match at the Ring of Honor Final Battle pay-per-view has now been confirmed. On the December 7th edition of Ring of Honor TV on Honor Club, Bryan Danielson and Ring of Honor Pure Champion Wheeler Yuta of the Blackpool Combat Club appeared to challenge FTR and Mark Briscoe to a trios match in order to honor Jay Briscoe at Ring of Honor's Final Battle event. The former two-time Ring of Honor World Champion, of course, tragically passed away on January 17 this year after a car accident. His final match took place at last year's Final Battle event when he teamed with his brother Mark to face FTR in a dog collar match for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships. Today, December 8th, Ring of Honor CEO Tony Khan announced that the match is now official for Final Battle next Friday. The tweet in question, you can see it on the screen right now, read the following, quote, "Next Friday, Ring of Honor Final Battle, Dallas Metroplex, Blackpool Combat Club, Claudio Castagnoli, Bryan Danielson, and Jon Moxley versus Mark Briscoe and FTR. Next Friday, 6 of the world's best wrestlers will fight to honor Jay Briscoe." Now, Ring of Honor Final Battle will be headlined by Athena defending the Ring of Honor Women's World Championship against Billie Starkz. Athena did confirm earlier today that she has suffered a broken nose, but will still be competing next week in the pay-per-view main event. We also announced for the pay-per-view, Keith Lee will face Shane Taylor, and there will be a 6-way survival of the fittest match to crown a brand new Ring of Honor World Television Champion. Of course, the same title that Samoa Joe recently vacated on AEW Dynamite. Finally, as I mentioned, on AEW Rampage tonight involving Bryan Danielson, the AEW Continental Classic rolls on, and Danielson has revealed one name that he wanted in the tournament that didn't end up working out. The AEW Continental Classic has been receiving plenty of praise for featuring several of the company's top stars in competitive bouts on weekly television. Bryan Danielson, Swerve Strickland, and former 3-time AEW World Champion Jon Moxley have all been featured and prominent in this tournament. However, another former AEW World Champion, Kenny Omega, is conspicuous by his absence, with many fans hoping that he would be part of the field. Speaking with Alex McCarthy of Daily Mail, Bryan Danielson was asked about Omega's absence from the tournament. He answered, quote, "I really wanted Kenny Omega in it, and I don't know. People think I do a lot more than I do. I don't know what happened or why he's not in the tournament. I know it was at least brought up to him, and I don't know if he didn't want to do it, or I know that he and Chris Jericho are the number one contenders for the tag team championships, so maybe that's why. Sometimes with American TV wrestling, you don't want to confuse stories, and maybe that's why. But I love the field that we have because we have so many great, hard-hitting wrestlers. The matches have been really, really good so far in the Continental Classic. Both Bryan Danielson and Kenny Omega will be in action on tomorrow's edition of AEW Collision on TNT. Danielson will face Andrade El Idolo in the Blue League of the AEW Continental Classic, whilst Kenny Omega faces his fellow Canadian Ethan Page in Montreal. Ahead of Collision, as I mentioned, tonight on AEW Rampage, Danielson will face Daniel Garcia in a Blue League match on AEW Rampage this evening. So, of course, 2 Continental Classic matches in 24 hours for Danielson. But there you go, guys. This latest pro wrestling news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.